welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. Hopefully it's only actually a week this time. If you've seen my other video, you know that the last weekly vlog I did was a month long. But it's Easter weekend now, it's Good Friday. I'm just about to head out, but I thought I would start this vlog now, otherwise I never will. And yeah, I'm hoping it'll be like an Easter weekend kind of reading vlog. I'm hoping to get some reading done this weekend because last week or so, I haven't been able to read as much because of work and things like that. So I'm falling behind on my TBR and I've only got a few days left of this month to rectify it. Yeah, I'm about to head out, but I just thought I would quickly start this vlog. I've also got something very exciting. I've got a new Kindle. So if you've seen any of my old videos, you will know my old Kindle is absolutely battered and bruised. It's over 10 years old. It's really lasted me a long time, but my boyfriend very kindly treated me to the new Paperwhite. I'm not sure what edition this is. I'll go through it all properly later and do like a proper run through with it, but I'm just so happy with it. But yeah, so I'm currently all about my Kindle, so I will probably be just reading Kindle books at the moment. But my current read is 50/50 by Steve Kavanagh. I think it's the 5th book in the Eddie Flynn series. I have it physically, I don't have it with me, but I have it physically and I've also got the Kindle edition, so it's perfect. Getting a physical and a Kindle book off my TBR. I'm currently 76% through, so only about a quarter of the book left, so I'm definitely hoping to finish that either tonight or tomorrow, and I'll give you a full proper update then. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's a really interesting read because for most of his books, I don't know if you've read any of the other like Steve Kavanagh books, but you kind of know that he's a lawyer, so the kind of person that you're defending, you're generally pretty certain that they haven't done it, you know, he's defending and finding all this evidence out about these suspects, etc. But for this one, it actually really is 50/50. You've got kind of two lawyers battling it out, and I genuinely don't even know where this book's going to go. Every time I think I know, I read another chapter and change my mind. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this one so far, and I will do a full review once I finish, hopefully tomorrow, and I'll also show you a bit more of my Kindle because I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy to have a backlight, touchscreen. Honestly, my old Kindle, it was buttons only and no backlight, so this is a massive upgrade. I didn't even have the Kindle store on my old Kindle, so yeah, I'm really happy with this, but I will do a full review and show you a bit more a bit later. So in true me fashion, when it comes to vlogging, I haven't updated this whole Easter weekend. I've just been at my parents' house back home, like catching up with friends and seeing them, things like that, so I haven't really had a chance, A, to do much reading, and B, to update you guys. But I have filmed some little clips of like the beach and the tennis and stuff like that, which I'm sure you've seen if I have added it all in. So I haven't forgot about the vlog, I just haven't been able to update. Like I say, I haven't done too much reading these last couple of days, this last weekend. I don't know what my hair is doing. I'm going to the gym, so I'm not washing. I don't want to like straighten it or anything. But yeah, so I haven't been able to do too much reading these last few days just because I've been like busy catching up with people and things like that. But that being said, I did finish 50/50 by Steve Kavanagh. I actually read it on my Kindle, but I've got the physical copy as well. One of the rare books that I actually have the physical and the Kindle edition of. So if you've read Steve Kavanagh's books before, this is I think it's the 4th or the 5th. The 5th book in the Eddie Flynn series. He is a lawyer, previously a con artist turned lawyer. So he has some very unique skills that he can employ in getting evidence and support, I guess, for his clients. Steve Kavanagh's books are mainly like courtroom dramas, but you do also get the kind of like gang element because he used to be part of some dodgy crowds, and they're very exciting books. They're a bit different to your usual like detective books. I would say if you're not a fan of like detective books, maybe try the Eddie Flynn series, because it kind of follows the same vein but a lot more interesting, and his courtroom scenes are my favourite scenes to read. They are so clever, and like the way he comes up with this is just incredible. I can't even explain to you, like, it's so exciting to read because you have no idea how he's gonna like present the evidence and things like that, and he like finds like these loopholes and everything, and like shuts down all these prosecutors and stuff. So yeah, his series as a whole is like one of my favourite series. 50/50 is, like I said, the 5th book in this series. He is representing one of 2 sisters, both who are on trial from the murder of their father. They both sent a 999 call, or 911 call at the same time, claiming that their sister murdered their dad, and they are the only 2 kind of witnesses. They are the only 2 in the house, so it was one of them, and we're trying to work out who it was. It was so clever. I really enjoyed like particularly like the first half. There is, there are chapters from Eddie's point of view, but there are also incorporate some chapters which are just titled She, which is like from the point of view of the killer. But it does a really good job of kind of not giving away which one it is. And like you'll read one of them chapters and you'll think, oh, well, it must be this sister. And then you'll read another one of them chapters and you'll be like, oh, hang on, like she said she was going out for a run and this character's out for a run now, so it must be her. And then like you're just flip-flopping between the 2 like the whole way, or I was anyway. I would say like the last half, or like the last third particularly, wasn't as incredible as I normally find his books. Kind of the outcome of the situation wasn't my favourite, so that did mark it down a few notches. And again, his courtroom scenes, normally I do really love them, and they were really good, but they weren't as like intense and as like shocking as they usually are, in my opinion. So I think I'm going to rate this like a 4 stars, maybe like a 3.5, but I'll round it up to 4 on Goodreads. Yeah, I would still recommend these books. Definitely, you don't necessarily have to read them in order. There is kind of a plot in terms of Eddie's life that kind of runs around the background throughout them all. So if you want to understand that a bit better, I would read them in order. But that being said, this one doesn't really talk about his life that much, and them kind of plot points aren't really incorporated, so you don't have to read them in order. In particular, 13 is probably his most popular book. This is about a serial killer who's on trial, but he's on the jury, so they've evidently got like the wrong killer that's on trial, and that was really, really good. But yeah, so finished that book. It's now the 2nd of April, so I'm onto my April TBR, which I haven't actually filmed yet. So I need to film that this afternoon so I can pick my next book. I've been not in like a slump, but I just haven't really, I've tried to start a few different books, and I just haven't really found the one that I want to read, if that makes sense. I just can't seem to pick a book to read. Like I want to read, but every book I'm reading I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. So hopefully I can get out of that soon and have a good April reading month. March wasn't the best. It was okay. I just didn't, I think my April TBR was not, my March TBR was not as good as my February one. So I didn't have as good of a reading month. I did actually also DNF a book. I don't know if I've spoken about it before, but I've DNF'd Adults by Emma Jane Unsworth. I had this on audio and I was reading a little bit of it physically. I only got, I think, where is it? 50 pages in, but I just wasn't interested in it. It's very like stream of consciousness. It's her own thoughts and her own opinions, and she's very like complainy, very moany, very woe is me, and just a bit bored of reading that kind of style. Everything's going wrong for her, and I don't know, it just wasn't really my cup of tea. I've definitely read some books like this before and they've been done a lot better. So yeah, I don't know, and it's very like social media heavy, but it was written in, I think, 2000, was it written in 2020? Stop it.
I would have thought this was written in like 2014, the way the character talks and things like that, but apparently it was written in 2020. Interesting. So it reads very like 2014, like she's obsessed with Instagram and checking her like count and things like that, which I feel is very like 2015, you know, like people, obviously some people do care about that at the moment, that in this day and age, but I do feel like that's kind of tapered off a bit, and like people only use Instagram to like share videos of their holidays. They don't really like, she's uploading literally like 3 times a day and things like that, which just doesn't feel very realistic to life as the use of social media at the moment. I don't know. So it does feel very dated. I'm really shocked that this came out in 2020. Anyway, yeah, so I've decided to DNF this one. It was actually ranked the lowest reviewed book on my Goodreads TBR, which probably is affecting my enjoyment of it as well, because I always have that in the back of my head. But yeah, I've decided, I was like, what's the point? Like, it's good to have an audiobook, but I literally was just zoning out and I was just so uninterested in it that I was like, I'm literally just listening to it for the sake of it, and I'd rather spend my time doing something else. So yeah, I've decided to DNF this one. But yeah, so I'm going to film my April TBR this afternoon, and we shall see what books it picks, and hopefully I can have a good selection of books to choose from. I'm really fancying like a romance, but every romance I start I am not interested in. I keep thinking back to Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, so I think I'm gonna try and get this on my TBR and start this one, because I just want this kind of like easy to read romance that's not too like, I like her writing style and I just can't be bothered for certain writing styles right now. But yes, so I shall update you when I pick my next read.
So I've just finished filming 2 videos actually. I filmed my April TBR and my March wrap up. The first wrap up I've actually done, so it kind of felt a bit weird to be talking about the books after I've read them. I don't know, I just haven't done that on my channel yet, so good to finally get that filmed. I thought while I've got a good setup and I've got makeup on, my lighting is decent, I would just show you my Kindle as I was talking about. So I have got a purple case on it, just because I wanted to protect the screen, because I take it like to work and things like that and just chuck it in my bag, so I wanted to have a nice screen protector over it. So I've got the Kindle Paperwhite in denim, which I was a bit worried about. When I saw it on the box it had denim, I was like, I was expecting to kind of like denim, almost like denim textured, or like denim, I don't know what I was expecting, but it's just blue. It's just a dark blue, which is fine. I'm happy with that. It looks nice. So when I like open the cover or just turn on the Kindle, it just comes up with, I've got the one with ads, but like I don't think the ads are that obvious. They're not that like annoying. It just tends to be the next book in the series that I'm reading or something like that. So, and they're pretty fine. So you just swipe up to unlock. Still getting used to like the touchscreen. Oh, I've locked it, so just unlock it. Sorry about the fingerprints. Yeah, so as you can see, that's just like the next book in the series I was reading, so that's fine by me. And you just swipe up to unlock, and then you've got all the books on my TBR, or all the books on my Kindle, sorry, all the books that I have read and haven't read. I really like on this one you can go on the home and kind of, oh, it's taking a bit long to load, but find that book recommendations, and you can access the Kindle store directly, which I couldn't do on my other Kindle. I used to be able to access the Kindle store, and then I think basically the Kindle got so old that they weren't producing updates for it anymore, so I stopped being able to access the Kindle store, which was a bit annoying. I had to always go on my phone to download the books and then transfer them over to my Kindle. The battery life on this is amazing. I mean, I think all Kindles, the battery life's really good on it. I rarely have to charge it. This one I've had for about a week, no, over a week now. And I think when I took it out the packaging and things like that, it had 35% battery, and I've used it loads since then and I'm on 22%. So I haven't had to charge it, which is great. I love that when I'm reading a book, I can just like highlight a word and the dictionary comes up. Like, it's all little things that I used to be able to do on my old Kindle, but I stopped being able to do. I do like the touchscreen element. It's like, takes some time to get used to it because I'm used to the buttons down the side, and like, it's very sensitive. So I'm often like having to like scroll back to try and find where I was previously on the page. But yeah, it's a bit bigger than my other Kindle as well. I think there are 2 types of I'll put the name of the Kindle I've got, I'm not entirely sure. But this is the slightly bigger one, which at first felt massive, but now I've very quickly got used to it. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you my Kindle really and just like rave about it. I just love it. Yeah, I was so excited to get it. My boyfriend very kindly bought it for me. I think he was fed up with me complaining about my old Kindle. And I kept being like, shall I buy it? No, I'll wait. Because my old Kindle like still worked, I kind of like didn't want to spend money on a new one while that one was still working. So he very kindly treated me to it, which was very sweet of him. But yeah, so this is my Kindle. Very excited to have it, and will definitely be using it a lot more. Just love it. So as I said, I just finished I finished filming my April TBR. So I managed to get Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez on there, so I will definitely be picking this one up next as my physical read. In terms of my Kindle read, I actually last night started the Dance Tree. Here it is. How can I see the cover on it? Oh my gosh, see, every time I like touch it, I change the page. I can't find the picture. So on my Kindle last night, I actually started reading The Dance Tree by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, I believe the author's name is. She's the author of The Mercies. And I managed to get that on my April TBR. I cheated a little bit because I have already started it, but yeah, so I'm only about like 10% through that one, so we'll definitely be carrying that one on. And then, like I say, I'm super excited to get to this one. So these will be the next reads. I will have some work to do this afternoon, but then this evening I'm gonna sit down and probably start Yours Truly. So I will update you when I've started that with my first thoughts. One thing I forgot to add, and the main thing that I love about this new Kindle, is the backlight. So again, my old Kindle, it was only, I don't know what the word is, but there was no backlight basically. So kind of, it was always like this, which was fine, but it meant in the dark, like there was no light, so you couldn't read it in the dark basically. I always had to have the light on if I was reading it in the evening, which again is fine, but it's like an added luxury to be able to read it in the dark. So like my boyfriend's gone to bed and I still want to stay up reading or whatever, I usually would have to read it on my phone, and even on like the lowest brightness, it was still so harsh, and I really struggled reading on my phone in the dark. Like I just wouldn't ever do it. I'd fall asleep within about 3 minutes or have to turn it off. Whereas this one, even at the highest brightness, like that is perfect to read in the dark, but it's still not as harsh as the lowest brightness on the phone from what I can kind of tell. And you never really need it that high anyway. I normally have it at like about in between. But yeah, I really like obviously the backlight, but I like that you can also have just like the plain no backlight setting as well, because like things like if you're on holiday, if you're in the sun and things like that, you don't want the light. Yeah, so I just love the choice that you've got with this and how accessible it is and how much easier it is to kind of incorporate reading into every aspect of your life. Like, I don't know, yeah, I just really enjoy it, and I definitely feel like I'm going to read more now that I've got it, because like I said, I've got more options, you know, if I want to read in the evenings and stuff, I can. But yeah, really happy with it. Good morning. Oh, it's so sunny out. I'm sat on my balcony in the sun. The first time this year I've been able to do this. I've got my cup of tea and I'm gonna finish or make some more progress in the Dance Tree. I read some of it last night. I'm 30% through it now, so starting to get into the story a little bit more. Sorry, it's so bright. Yeah, you're very much like at the start of it, like just plonked in the middle of the story, and you're kind of, I don't know, I've spent most of the time reading trying to work out who everyone is and kind of the setting and what's actually going on, but we're actually starting to get to the dances now. So it's about the dancing plague in like the 1500s in France, where just thousands of women just got up and danced for hours and days on end, weeks on end, I think. So it's kind of about that. So we've kind of got to that bit a bit more now, so I kind of know a bit more what's happening. But yeah, I am enjoying it. I'm not loving it like I loved The Mercies. Like as soon as I started The Mercies,
also by the same author, I knew that it was like a 5-star read. And you know when you get that feeling when you first start, which I've not got with this one, but I'm enjoying it. It's nice to read something a little bit different, and yeah, I will try and read it in this sun.
Well, it's safe to say the weather's taking a turn. Hi everyone, I thought I would just quickly film an update. I have finished The Dance Tree. I really liked this actually. It was a really lovely story. I think I said in the last clip I wasn't 100% sure on it. It was kind of the first third or so. I felt very like thrown into it and didn't quite grasp what was happening necessarily, and kind of who the characters all were and things like that. But actually, as the story went on, my enjoyment for it went up. I wouldn't say enjoyment, it wasn't like a fun read, but like my appreciation for it went up. Yeah, it was really lovely actually. It was heartbreaking but beautiful at the same time. It's about loss, but also about love and friendships and romantic love. There is like LGBT rep in it, which was really well done, I think. And yeah, I just really liked the story. It follows the dancing plague of, I think it was in France and across Germany as well. I'm not sure what year it was now, I've forgotten. Many centuries ago anyway. Yeah, the so-called dancing plague that kind of spread throughout. It was kind of put down to like women's mania and things like that, but obviously it kind of dives more into perhaps the reasons behind it and what kind of can push a woman to kind of go to them extremes. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's beautifully written. This author is just amazing at writing. I really love her writing style. It is, yeah, just beautiful. I preferred the Mercies slightly more, like the kind of storyline of the Mercies. But yeah, I'm giving The Dance Tree 4 stars. I would say like the first like half, I was thinking it'll probably be about a 3, but the kind of ending solidified it for me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 stars, which I'm very happy with, and I'm glad to have another one off my backlist from my Kindle. So yeah, that's it for now. I will see you in my next vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this kind of vlog style, so I definitely want to try and get one out a month at least. So yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.